All right, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back from data to deals. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time together. Feel free to introduce yourself, but let's have some fun. Please make sure you give it a thumbs up if I say anything that makes sense to you or you feel like had values to you. Today we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, okay? Subscribe to the channel. My name is Ola. I'm the author of Smart Real Estate Wholesaling and Real Estate Money Secrets. And you can find both books at www.smartrealestatewholesaling.com. All right. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to cover today. What's going on, OG? What's going on? Thank you so much for stopping by. I want to cover four different questions somewhat, kind of, okay? And let's just have fun talking about that today. You're here because you want to learn real estate investing, you want to learn real estate wholesaling, you want to learn how to flip houses nationwide. And we cover that in quite a bit of details here. But we also try to keep it simple. All right. So if you're brand new here and you haven't checked out 11dayschallenge.com, make sure you go check it out because that's where everything is. Okay. But let's have some fun. Let's just do some free value type of situation here today. The first thing that we should talk about let's talk about like I said, let's talk about wholesale real estate. There's a question here that came in that I wanted to address. My YouTube channel is designed to kind of like give you like a overview of what's going on with the business. Bring you up to speed with what's going on in the business. You don't have to be directly my student, but you can over 700 videos here, that I've done over since 2016 or so. So I try to cover everything that you can find extremely useful. All right. OG, congratulations to you, my brother. Congratulations. That's a big deal. That's life changing. You got your first property under contract. Yeah, that's a big deal. You will never go back, essentially. So that's awesome. All right. So has anyone on here actually made $10,000 from finding this guy deals? So this is it's funny that OG is talking about he has a property under contract and somebody is asking that question, right? Well, this is not me personally. If you ever find a deal for me, if it's a deal, then it's a deal. If it's not a deal, it's not a deal. But let's just, first of all, the question, I always want to address a question from the standpoint of the person asking this question, where's their mind, basically, right? What do you think is going on with the mind of a person asking if anyone has ever made money from buying and selling real estate? Essentially, that's what they're saying. Okay, so let's break that down. The question is, has anyone ever made $10,000 from finding a guy a deal? If it's a deal, money will be made. If it's not a deal, no, money would not be made. But it's not even about that. The question is coming from lack of belief. That's just where that's coming from. And the truth is that you will need your belief system to be at a certain level in order to even pull through, because the business of real estate, easy, hard, and difficult are not relevant words. Okay. It's a simple business. We buy and sell real estate. That's what that is. As wholesalers, you lock up contracts and you sell the contract. Hence, why OG is excited about locking up a contract, because now he has a right to purchase a property at a predetermined price, right? And he's able to sell that contract to another person that will exercise that for, or he's able to assign it to another person for an assignment fee. An assignment fee, yes, can be $10,000. My highest up to date is $82,000. My average is $25,000, $20,000, $30,000. It just depends on quite a few factors, but it's a very, very simple business. And when you understand that it's simple, and you can learn the concept of real estate, right? You can learn the concept of real estate simply By watching YouTube videos. Real estate investing is simply you buy houses and you sell. You make your money when you buy. You find out what a property is worth and you buy below that. And that's how your money is made, because somebody wants that opportunity to buy cheaper. And you sell that opportunity to buy the property cheaper to another person. But when I just said that in that way, and the first thing that a person's mind comes to is scam, that's belief system issues. That has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with OG or anybody that's going to create any kind of success in this business. That's personal. And that person needs to go find answers to that. And there's a good chance that's how they address everything else in their lives. And so the problem is not real estate. The problem is not what we teach here, which is very simple. And if it's easy or not, it's not relevant, because anything that's worthwhile, you cannot use the word easy. You cannot use the word hard. You cannot use the word difficult, because they're not relevant. With respect to when something is worth it, you don't look at if it's easy. You don't look at if it's hard. You don't look at if it's difficult. You look at if it's worthwhile. You look at if it's worth it, you'll do anything to make it happen. If you want it bad enough, you do everything. So when I address questions here, I don't want to worry about if it's has somebody ever made money? Damn skip. If you pay rent, yeah, somebody has made money from real estate. If that's your question, if that question was that simple, then it's as simple as you pay rent, then yeah, sure. Then yeah, people make money in real estate. Is that your question? Oh no, by finding this guy a deal. No, you don't have to find me a deal. You go find other investors. There are a ton of investors that you can find deals for out there. Does that make sense? So let's keep going here. Micro flipping. Let's talk about micro flipping real estate. Okay. So micro flipping real estate is a terminology that's coined by some guys called the connected investors. Okay. I've never worked with them. Honestly, when I first did a video about micro flipping, there's another video on my channel about micro flipping. I didn't really realize that other people may have coined the term. And if you ask me, there's a good chance that I just came up with it, and it just sounded pretty cool. But these people have made a whole big thing out of it. They call them connected investors. There's a guy called Ross Hamilton, right? And basically what they've done is that they've put an effort into simplify the whole process of flipping houses for a living. Okay. So back in the days, you will have to drive for dollars. Some people still do. That's okay. If it works for you, keep doing it. If it's not working, you should probably look at what your time is worth, right? But either way, that's just data collection. We're talking marketing now. We're talking the fact that there's laptops. We're talking about really all you need is a phone. That's all you need to make this happen, right? But according to them, is 3 steps. I call it 5 steps. And I just want to clarify the difference. Like I said, you can learn this concept by watching my 700 videos on YouTube for free. However, when my personal time is involved and I create step-by-step process that I have to update from time to time, you may have to pay a little bit of something. If you have to use a tool that has to be updated from time to time, like for example, the Empire Big Data created by PropStream people, right? If you want to use that tool need to keep staying up to date, because the platforms of technology is always changing. So the people that update it, they have to feed their family, right? So basically you have to pay some kind of fee for that. And you may not understand, even when you watch YouTube free videos, right? Somebody is paying for that. They call them advertisers, right? They pay for having that. So in real life, nothing is really free. And successful people don't go after free lunch. They just don't. They don't. All right. And it's very important that you understand that if you plan to be successful in entrepreneurship, period, and especially in life. Okay. And the faster you can understand that, the better. So micro flipping, according to them, you find a deal using the technology at our disposal, right? You lock it up under contract using the technology at our disposal. I lock up contract all the time. I use DocuSign personally. There's Elo Signs, there's Adobe Sign, there's all kind of tools out there, right? That you will pay pennies, $20, $10 per month, things like that for, right? But absolutely worth it, right? So you find a property using a laptop, you lock it up under contract using a laptop, and then you sell it to a network of investors that's basically available on the same laptop, same platform. But it sounds simple. It is oversimplified. But it's true. It's that simple. All right. But here I talk about from data to deals. Okay. And that's basically 5 different stages that's covered in the game. All right, that's 5 different stages. If about 4 of you guys watching me, please can you please add a thumbs up to the video? That would be really nice. Thank you so much for doing that for me. All right, so the 5 stages, we have data. That means addresses, right? You have to collect addresses. Some people say put a $30 gas in the car and start driving around town. I say no, don't do that. Just have a laptop. Buy a laptop at Best Buy for $200. A phone, right? Internet connection, you should have that already if you live in United States or anywhere where people communicate with phones, right? If you have those things, you have access to data. Okay, so now analyzing those data, now you have to advance to contact. You have to contact these people. What type of data? What type of data are we talking about? We're talking pre-foreclosures, vacants. Are we talking high equity? Are we talking about tax liens? Are we talking about out-of-state owners? All of that. But there's a particular 11-point stack that I recommend for my students that works 100% of the time because it stacks it stacks in your favor, because now potentially you're dealing with potentially the most motivated people that would want to sell at a discount. Because remember, real estate is buying and selling real estate, and you make your money when you buy because you want to buy at a deep discount, right? That's the idea. And in order for someone in their right mind to want to sell to you at a deep discount, they have to kind of be in a situation where they can't afford to hold on to the property. They have to be in a position where that's actually a valuable thing to them. It has to become, the fact that you're buying from them at a discount is a valuable thing for them. It's something that makes their life easier. So why would you buying cheaper from them make their life easier? That means that property is causing some kind of distress in their lives. So divorce, pre-foreclosures, right? Tax liens. These are the kind of things you want to be attached to the properties that you're spending your energy going after. All right. So that's basically that step right there. So contacting them, you have to find their contact information and contact them, create outreach, create campaigns, outreach, and you have to put them into a system. So even though they said find a deal, lock it up under contract and sell it, there's kind of some in-betweens there. And we cover that. We go from data to contact, to leads, to contract, and then to deals. Those are the 5 stages that's in there. Realistically speaking, that's what we break down inside of 11dayschallenge.com. And simply by 11 days, you're set up and you're running. Okay. All right, so that's micro flipping, but it's essentially the same thing. People are coming up with terminologies. You have national wholesaling with Chris Chico. You have virtual wholesaling. Chris Chico claimed he created that as well. But the truth is that when I started back in 2005, I realized quickly that I didn't want to waste my time chasing after non-motivated sellers. Okay, I didn't want to waste my time on that. All right, so that's key, right? So OG says marketing is key here. Absolutely. Like if you fail at everything else, you don't have to know the right contract. You don't have to know the right thing to say. If you can nail marketing on lock, then you're good to go. All right. So let's keep going here. The next thing I want to talk about here is let's see, pre-foreclosures. Let's talk about pre-foreclosures, right? Pre-foreclosure wholesaling. Okay. The honest truth is that ever since I've been in this game, I haven't thought about anything else. I don't like as far as targeting. It's just the conversation is easier for me when I'm dealing with somebody in pre-foreclosure, because I don't have to sell them on the idea of selling. Okay, they kind of know that they can't afford the property. They have an idea that they can't afford to hold on to the property. So, and that automatically puts me in a position where I'm serving, where I'm bringing value. And there's three pillars in this game, or the game of entrepreneurship. There's value, there's automation or media, okay, automated media, and then there's people. So if there's no people, no money. Okay, money comes from only one place, from other people. Okay, so those are the three core pillars. If you can figure out how to link those together, you'll be in the game. But the value part, right? If you go on Zillow and you start calling for sale by owners, you put yourself in a position where you can't really serve them because they listed that property for the most part because they want full money. Or you go talk to people that has properties on the market on the MLS. They want full blown money. So if you go there and you're looking for discounted properties, you see there's a problem there, right? You can't serve, or you have to sell them on the idea that you're there to serve them, and that makes life difficult for you. So imagine having to do that over and over again. So pre-foreclosure wholesaling is essentially where it's at. And it's funny how people are now starting to talk about it like it's some kind of brand new stuff. It's not new. Okay. Pre-foreclosure wholesaling is not new because we're in post-pandemic era. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's always been there, and that's what you should have paid attention to for all the while, especially if you're getting started. Okay. The only thing is that's different when I started is that back then I focused on people that are underwater. I negotiated lots of short sales, basically people that owe way too much. They owe way too much to the bank than the property is actually worth. So that took us time. So now these days I still do that, but I put a lot of energy in people that have equity, but they are owing money and they just need to sell me because they moved out of state and the house has been sitting down vacant. That's three things that I just mentioned: vacant, non-owner occupied, pre-foreclosures. Those are really additional reasons why they may want to sell at a discount, and we use that in our favor. So we absolutely start with pre-foreclosure wholesaling. Unless we need a bigger data, then we may remove that criteria. And sometimes we have to market heavy, and we do that. All right. But that's key to your conversation. This question says, I want to start calling pre-foreclosures, but I'm not sure how to open up the conversation. Do I just call and say, hey, my understanding is that you are going through foreclosure and I want to help? No, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. And I can tell you, I made a mistake. I probably made that mistake earlier on in my career, probably back then, 2005, 6, I probably did, and I think I've told a story before. There was a time that I showed up to someone's property with a magnet sign on my Chrysler Concorde that says avoid foreclosure, we buy houses. And we made an appointment together. I made an appointment and I showed up with that sign. And as soon as he saw me with that sign, he told me to get the hell out of here, because he did not appreciate the fact that I'm announcing his business on the street. He said, just get out of here, man. No, I don't want to work with you, right? So this was in Plainfield, New Jersey. So since then, I know that the last thing you want to do is come off as creepy to the prospects. Instead ask them generic questions like, why do you want to sell? When do you need to sell? How soon do you need to sell? Those two questions are the magic question. They will tell you, okay, do you have any lien against the property? How much? Easing on it. But your marketing message is not avoid foreclosure. Your marketing message is not, I know you're in foreclosure, let me come help you. Don't do that. It will work against you all day long, okay? Some people are probably desperate enough to still work with you, but generally speaking, you don't want to come off as creepy. You just want to show up as an investor. That's what you are. Never show up as a wholesaler, because there's no such thing. That's just a strategy. That's just an exit strategy, okay? There's no such thing. Like the board of realtors and real estate companies, and they don't know what that is. It's annoying to actually call yourself a wholesaler, okay? In our community here, yeah, I guess, right? But you don't go Google Newark, New Jersey wholesaler. There's no such thing, okay? What you can find, the way you find investors is by saying, sell my house fast in Newark, New Jersey. That's the marketing message. We buy houses in New Jersey. That will be the marketing message, not wholesaling, okay? Not subject to deals. Don't say things like that. Keep it simple. You buy houses. Your job is to go there, speak to them, express to them that you can help them solve the problem. Solution being getting rid of the property, okay? Meaning value, the first core pillar of this business, right? That's your job. You lock it up under contract, and then you pass that opportunity up to somebody else in exchange for a fee. That's as simple as that. In the conversation, they will open up to you. They will tell you everything. So tell me what's going on. Tell me the story. What's the deal with the property? Why do you need to sell so fast? Why didn't you consider listing it with the realtor? I don't have that time. I don't want to show the house. I don't want to be showing houses. I just, well, why do you feel like you're in a hurry? You're gonna get the most money if you list it with the realtor. I don't have that time. I have a foreclosure coming up on July 7th, and it may got foreclosed on. Oh. Now you put yourself in a position where you're there to help them, consulting, not selling, just being a human being. That's it. That's all you need to be. But of course, you gotta know what you're saying. You gotta know what you're doing. You have to understand that you need to show up like an expert. Okay, if they smell that you are not confident about what you're saying, you may get chewed up and spit it out. Okay, so repetition is the mother of mastery. That's why we put together 11 days challenge, but also like a continuity program to help you do this over and over again until you start locking up properties under contract like OG, until you start making money in the business. Then it just gets easier, and that's when you can use the word easy. In reality, in life, when you want something bad enough, easy, difficult, hard, they're not relevant. We don't talk about that. And people that come into this game that to look for easy stuff or they want to get rich overnight, I actually create my marketing message to repel them, to push them away. Okay, that's why if people take action quicker, they pay cheaper through my system. If they take action longer, they pay a lot more. Okay, they pay a lot more. All right, so that's that really quickly. So let's go on to the next one here. Let's talk about virtual wholesaling. Okay, virtual wholesaling is basically what I just showed you, from data to deals. Okay, from data to deals. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. From data to deals. So we have data, we have contact. That just means find a way to contact them. Okay, we have leads. Leads are going to be generated. Okay, all right, leads are going to be generated. So speaking of contact, my first few calls, I was nervous. Well, that's kind of natural. That's okay. All right, that's okay. Nervous is a much more acceptable word than easy. Oh, it was hard. That's not relevant. You went through the nervousness because you wanted it bad enough. That's the way it works. Okay. So you have leads will be generated when you take care of data and contact. Leads will be generated. Now you have to process that lead to become a contract. Okay. You're going to make some kind of offers and contract, and then you want to turn that to deals. All right, those are the 5 stages. All right, so with that being said, do you need a real estate license for virtual wholesaling? Let me repeat this, okay? If you know what you're doing, okay, in this game, you will never need a real estate license. A real estate license does not hurt your business if you want to get one. The only thing you can do is probably expand your network, expand your relationship in the business. People respect you more. If you lock up a property under contract and then you flip it, that's allowable as long as it's fully disclosed, full disclosure. And now, there's some states are saying, a couple of states are frowning, like Ohio, Oklahoma, Illinois are frowning at wholesaling, which is why I told you, don't call yourself a wholesaler. That's one of the reasons, because there's no such thing. Wholesaling is a trading strategy that will never go away. It simply means you buy something cheaper, closer to the source of whatever that thing is. You buy it cheaper so you can sell it cheaper to people that plan to retail wherever that product is. That's what wholesaling is. Wholesaling was not originated in the world of real estate. It was always there. You either have wholesale or you have retail price. It's always been a part of trade. So it's kind of funny when when I see people say, "Oh, is it legal?" Like, what do you mean is it legal? What makes it illegal for me to go to a pawn shop and buy a saxophone for half the price? That's not illegal, okay? And then I get to sell it cheaper to somebody that may want to sell it. There's nothing illegal about that as long as all the parties involved are aware and they agree and they get what they want. Most importantly, they get what they want, right? If you can figure out how to do that, that's always going to be legal. Okay. So, do you need real estate license to virtual wholesale? No, you don't. However, there's something called regulations in any trading, in any kind of business where people trade goods, people trade cash for goods and stuff like that. There's something called regulation, and they put some regulation in place to protect the consumers, and that's okay. And the regulation that's coming about is when people start marketing the property like they're acting like agents when they're not actually agents. So it's kind of like people driving Uber around when they're not actually a taxi driver. Is that legal or illegal? No, it's not relevant. Okay. However, in New York City, there's regulations and there's certain things you have to get through in order to be able to do Uber. However, if you're somewhere in the middle of Alabama, you don't have to get no license to drive Uber. That's just called regulations. Okay. So if they want to restrict more people doing it and they want to protect consumers, they put some restrictions in place. Restrictions does not equal to illegal. Okay. Regulations does not mean illegal. However, if there's some kind of stumbling block they put in front of you in order to do business, just get over it. Get through it, because that's what makes you different from everybody else. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you a winner. Because whatever obstacle they put in front of you, if they say get a license in your state and you really want to stay in your state, just go through the class. It doesn't hurt. It can only help. Go through the class, get the license, and keep doing business. However, there are ways around that if you don't want to do that. All you have to do is partner with people that are licensed and then be the lead generator. There's no one that ever said to be a lead generator in real estate, you have to be licensed. No, and that will never be. If you become the marketer, which is the primary reason why you get paid in this game, if you just become obsessed with marketing, no one is going to request you to get a license, okay? And you can make money over and over again, but even better, you make money with other people, which means you have other people working for you. They have invested interest in your success. And if you need license, partner with people that have license or get the license. So instead of worrying about what's going to stop you or I can't, right? Worry about what you see in the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is how can I? Always ask the question, how can I? All right. So that's all I have for you today. I'll be back here Tuesday next week. I'll be back here Tuesday next week at 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. usually every day, 4 to 4:30 p.m. And if you need to right now, this is probably a good time to go get started. Go launch your challenge right now. Start locking up contracts and start flipping these deals. Okay, there's deals everywhere. Okay, and it's true. There's going to be a surge in pre-foreclosures. There is going to be a surge because people can't make their payment right now. But just keep in mind that it's an evergreen strategy that you can use over and over again. It doesn't, like, that's just real life things that happen. Sometimes people even go into pre-foreclosure because they decided that they don't want the house anymore and they want to basically let it go, right? People do that willingly sometimes, and you could be the person who market to them, get that property under contract, process it, and get it sold. Some people inherit properties that they don't want, right? And everything and all of that, right? All right, so go through 11dayschallenge.com, and if you want this book, the free book, if you're brand new here, make sure you do this. And I got one more thumbs ups, I guess. Thank you so much for giving me 2 more thumbs up so we can hit the goal for the day. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.